Hello everybody and welcome to episode 19 of This Old Knit. I am your host Nina, otherwise known as Ine on Ravelry and Pinterest, and now coming to you live Instagram. Woo! I'll talk to you more about that later after I've shared my knitting, but yeah, I haven't done that much. Kind of starting to follow people and figure out what the heck I'm doing. So probably not going to be very interesting to follow me, but whatever. So it is very, very hot up here today. But I have to have the fan off because it makes me sound weird. So I did turn it off. But if I start sweating, sorry. The heat index outside is 103 degrees, which is roughly 35-ish degrees Celsius. Subtract 30 and divide by 2 if you want to do some quick math. That'll get you there. So yeah, it's been really hot today, and we've basically stayed inside. My husband went out for his walk, and Megwin has gone out a few times to play, but she has not stayed out for very long. And then she's come back in and said how happy she is to be in the cool. So unlike our lovely European friends, we do have air conditioning. Although this house did not obviously have air conditioning when it was built, we actually put it in when we moved into the house. So we installed a geothermal system, so it provides both our heat and our cooling. And there also were not ducts going up to the upstairs. So the upstairs got a lot hotter or colder than the rest of the house, but we added those as well. So, yeah, we're able to have air conditioning, which is lovely, and I'm very happy about that. So we've just been inside. So I have been doing a ton of knitting, which I'm really happy about. I've made quite a bit of progress, and yeah, I'll start sharing that with you now. So the first thing that I've been really working on is Megwin's sweater, and I'm actually glad I started it for her because I wanted her to have at least a couple of hand knit sweaters for when she starts kindergarten this year. And I thought she was starting in September, but then today I looked at the school website because we were supposed to be getting some kind of like letter or something in the mail telling us when the chance was to meet the teacher, like a supplies list for her, what her classroom will be, and whether she'll be doing morning or afternoon kindergarten, because in Ohio we have a half-day kindergarten. So we preferenced morning, but we don't know yet. And then I checked on their website, and they've already issued the stuff about the social being, I think, the first week in August, and then they start like August 17th. So I don't know what's happened with our communications, but I'm a little bit concerned that for some reason they don't have her name or something. So we'll have to call the school. But definitely have less time than I thought to knit her some sweaters, so I'm going to get on it. Long story short, I've got the first one started, which is great. And it is zooming along. So last time, if you'll remember, I just showed you I had just cast on and I had the very top, and that was it. So this is what I have now. This is the Little Honey pattern by Amy Miller. And, yeah, let me unroll it here. So I think what I do is I do 7 inches, and then there's pockets on the front, which Megwin loves having some good pockets, because she enjoys putting things in them, collecting things she finds outside. So yeah, I'm making the size 4-5. She wears like 4T stuff, a little bit of 5T stuff, but right now that's just because of the brace that she has on for her clavicle fracture. So obviously that's not going to be for forever. So yeah, I think I have like 4 inches here. So I only have about 3 inches more to go, and then I'll be able to put the pockets in, which Megwin is very excited about because she doesn't believe me that I can knit pockets. She's hilarious. So I said, well, I'll show you, honey, when I start to do them. So she's excited to see when I get there. I have my little progress keeper on there from Molly. It's a little sheepy. And then my mom, when Megwin was in the hospital, she actually gave me some stitch markers. So I'm using those. They're yellow, which is my favorite color. So they're just some fun little flowers with a bead and just a basic wire loop. So they're kind of nice for this because they don't, sometimes when I have bigger rings, they actually make me put a gap in my knitting. I'm sure it's just me. I don't know why I do that. I don't tighten up enough around them. So when I'm knitting fingering weight stuff, I try to use a really thin marker. I'm pretty happy with where I'm doing the carrying up the side. It's nice and stretchy, but I've been wrapping, you know, every row and carrying it up. So yeah, it's not pulling at all, which is great, and it seems to be staying reasonably closed. There's not a weird gap there or anything. So hey, I might be learning something about knitting someday after doing it for, I don't even know how many years at this point. 12, 14. Yeah, I'd have to think about that. Anyway, I digress. So my yarn is Gnome Acres Scruffy Gnome. This one was a limited edition 4-ply Scruffy Gnome in the Strawberries colorway. And then this one is her normal Scruffy Gnome base. And this is a limited edition colorway, the Cookies colorway from Christmas. She does usually do it. She's done it at least 2 Christmases in a row, but it's seasonal, I guess I should say, not limited edition. She also did put the strawberries out, but I haven't seen this same base again. It's a little bit thicker than this one, but it's not making a noticeable difference in the knitting. Maybe a little bit more texture. But it's so soft. I love it, and Megwin loves it. She said it felt very nice when I put it on her, and hopefully it'll be warm. So yeah, I expect to get this finished relatively quickly with how quickly it's knitting up, and I love the tonal stripes. They're just so pretty. So much better than a solid stripe, I think. It's just, wow. It's working out way better than it did in my mind, which usually doesn't happen. I usually imagine something's going to be really cool, and then it's not as cool in the execution as I imagined it would be. So the next thing I've been working on is a new cast on, but an old yarn that you'll all be familiar with if you've watched previous episodes. So it's My Little Bunny Foo-Foo in the Sparkle Gnome base, again from Gnome Acres, because apparently I'm a Gnome Acres fangirl. I had knit a Hermione's Everyday sock with it. I actually had knit most of the sock, and I just felt like the ribbing was too loose, and I just didn't feel like the stock was going to stay up, and I wasn't going to be happy with it, so I ripped it all the way out, and I cast on again, and I'm just going to do a pair of vanilla socks this time, because that's kind of where my brain is at this point. There's a lot of stuff going on right now with work. Home is very busy, just with trying to get some stuff fit in for the end of the summer. We want to go to the zoo. We want to do at least one longer camping trip before Megwin starts school. Now that's purely dependent on her, sorry, something is really itching my nose, on her recovery track. She's doing amazingly well, but we were worried that a long hike might be a little bit too much for her, and we usually like to do at least one long hike when we camp. Maybe if we go somewhere that doesn't have that as the main attraction, like if there was some water or something like that, that might be good as well. So I don't know. But anyway, I did a 2x2 rib for 15 rows. And then I'm just starting to do a normal stockinette. This should still qualify for the Pal Cow because it's a podcaster dyed yarn. And this is just my standard sock pattern that I knit for myself. So I do 64 stitches. This is on a 2.5 mil needle. I usually use 2.75, but this yarn is pretty thin, as I've mentioned before. So I like the fabric a little bit better on the 2.5 millimeter needle. So that's going, and that's kind of the one that I pick up and knit when I'm nursing the baby, because he is way too interested in that sweater, and twice now he's pulled it hard enough that stitches have popped off the needles and dropped down, and I've had to pick them back up. So I just don't want to risk it anymore. So I'm going to not have that be a project I work on when I have him on my lap. So thus the sock. And then last night I worked some on my blanket. Megwin's looking for me, so she'll probably be up here really soon when she figures out where I am. And obviously this is a little bit harder of a project to work on when it's hot like this, just because it's big enough that it's actually a blanket. So here it is on me, and it's going down to almost my knees. So yeah, it's the real deal now, people. It's actually a blanket. So yeah, I have worked from down here around and around. Mitered corner around. I did this mitered corner last night, and then this little bit. Still love it. Gonna be awesome. Maybe I'll have it ready for next winter. I don't know yet. I think my camera's still on. It is. Okay. This is how much I have left of that ball. And then I'll be ready to start another one. Yay! And stuff that in there. Here comes Megwin. I heard you.
The little thumps?
Yep, the little thumps.
I can't believe you knew I was there.
I have really good hearing. Oh, Megwin.
I only found 2 groovy girls.
Oh, there's one over there behind you in the tub, the baby tub. Nope, by the wall. Yeah, go to the wall. There you go.
There she is.
Mm-hmm.
I always find 2 in one spot. Huh?
Hey, sweetie, can you stop rattling that? Because I'm doing my podcast right now.
I was hoping you would do a podcast. It's because I was looking for you.
Oh, okay. Well, you can think of what you want to share.
Okay.
So I don't have anything finished for this week. That's all the stuff I've been working on. Like I said, I'm thinking about doing another sweater for Megwin as well when I finish this other one. So I think I will probably do this one, which is Raindrops by Tin Can Knits. And I haven't decided on the yarn yet. I have a couple of different Megwin sweater quantities of yarn.
My lippy ring. I can share that.
Oh yeah, in light green.
My turn.
Okay, hang on a second. Can I finish what I was saying? In a light green, a dark green, or my mom actually picked up a sweater quantity for her in a pink, peachy pink. Good job opening your other eye. That's great, sweetie. Keeping them both open. You're squirming it. Don't squeeze it. Try to keep it open, okay?
All day?
Yeah, if you can. So we'll see for that what I want to do. I'm not sure yet. Okay, and Megwin's going to do her segment now. Come on, Megwin. Show your stuff.
Okay, this is my lippy ring, but it doesn't have very much lippies. You can see that.
Come closer this way so they can see you.
This doesn't have very much lippies. You can see.
I see. Oh, wow. Is there any?
Yep, see those tiny edges?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And there's lippies on the tiny edges. But this is my lippy ring. We'll have to buy more of them.
Yeah, I think you do have some more. I just don't know where they are.
Me neither. Do we have... Hey,
Mystery.
tell me which colors I have.
You have blue, green, pink.
Which is this one?
Yep. And I think lavender.
What's lavender?
It's a light purple.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And this is the outside of it. It's sort of a ring and a lippy container.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, so it hides lippies, and Bubby can't get it because it's on my thumb. So he thinks it's just a regular ring.
That's pretty sneaky.
Yeah, so Bubby doesn't know what it is.
You just had ice cream. Can't have candy right now.
Yep.
Don't crinkle it, please.
Yep, that feels like it's still good. Just checking
Still good.
Just checking if it's old.
Okay. Thanks for checking it for me.
Just in case if you got sick.
Yeah.
Hey, look!
Oh, some other lippies.
And they're blue too, but I'm all out of them.
I think I rolled it down for Bubby. There might be some in there, unless he ate them. He was up here for a little while with me when I was working upstairs last week.
None are coming up.
Okay.
Bubby must have eaten them.
Gross.
Silly Bubby.
Silly Bubbus. Alright, so the other thing that I would like to do next
What's this?
is, there's another snack.
Oh.
Is cast on another
Why
shawl.
do you have a lot of chocolate?
I don't know. I just have a bunch of stuff up here. There's still stuff up here from when I was working up here.
Huh?
It's empty. Please stop hitting the table and putting stuff down because it's picking it up on the microphone. Stop.
Huh?
Hey. Careful.
What's this?
Thank you. It's gross stuff that I need to take downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot it was up here. Okay.
I think I'm old enough for caffeine sodas.
I don't think you are.
But I'm so big.
You are big, but we need to not have too much caffeine when you're so little.
Look how high I can stretch my arms.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I
Higher
like
than
that
my
you can
shoulders.
take your arms up that high even with a broken
And
clavicle.
look.
Pretty great. It
Now-
doesn't hurt?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Pretty cool.
I'm getting really healed.
Okay.
I can even do this, bending my hurt shoulder.
Cool. Alright, sweetie, can I finish doing my podcast now?
Yep.
Alright. So,
Look for another thing to share.
okay, you can look for another thing to share. Okay, so I would like to also do another shawl, because I really like my couple that I have.
Perfect. This is
And I
perfect.
found another random thing to share. Okay.
Okay, this is my bunny rabbit toy.
Can you
See?
come over here? Because they
Okay.
won't be able to see you.
Okay. This is my bunny rabbit, and this is her ear, little pink inside and little gray on the outside. You can see that. Cute. And her teeth stick out like that. You can finally see them in the red tongue. See them?
Mhm.
Chop, chop, chop. Her eyes are brown, and her her pupil is white, and the rest of it's black. And the outside is just white too. Her fur's white right here, and she has a little pink nose. You can see it. She has a little puffball tail, a few sort of white legs with pink little pads on the bottom that helps them not slip. And on the pads are teensy claws that help them dig into the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Do rabbits really have claws?
They do.
Whoa!
Well, how else would they dig or defend themselves?
Okay, and these are the other ones. They don't have pink pads because they push out loose dirt hurt when the rabbits are digging their holes.
Cool. Oh my goodness. That was very informational.
And there's another thing.
What?
Look at that white fur. It's really white. See that? That's her muscular. The muscular, her changes, and when she's a summer rabbit, she grows brown fur. But when it's winter, see, the brown fur falls out and the white fur grows in. You know this story.
Yeah. It's called shedding their winter coat. Or growing their winter coat.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. You all done?
Nope.
Okay.
So, these two coats have different things. The summer coat is cool, so it can cool off in the hot summer. And it's brown, so it can camouflage. But the white is warm, so it can stay warm in the cold, well, do you know, winter? And the white fur is also for camouflaging in the snow, like this. And they love to hide in thickets and lie motionless. So it makes it seem like they're just another lump of snow in the thicket. Look. See?
That's pretty convincing.
That. And see her little puffball tail? That helps her change directions.
I don't think they can see that low down. Do you want me to move the camera down, or you want to hold it up?
This little white tail helps it change directions. See? They can open their mouths this wide.
Whoa.
Without even chopping a tooth.
What kind of stuff do rabbits eat?
They eat carrots and mostly, wolves.
Wolves? What?
Well, babies.
Do you think they eat grass? I think they're herbivores, sweetie. They're not carnivores.
Just kidding.
You're so silly.
And they mostly eat bugs.
They eat bugs?
Yep.
Okay.
And grass and carrots.
And
lettuce. Because of their mouths, they do a big bite when they're eating the insects. A really hard bite. And not even a tooth falls out. It's as hard as it would be if someone really bit you that hard.
Wow.
Without even chopping a tooth, the rabbit bites. The rabbit bites without even chopping a tooth.
Okay.
Kind of like a beaver.
All right, sweetie.
But her lunch is yuck. She also eats bark and trees and roots and mostly wings of a parrot. I mean the feathers.
Okay.
Kind of nice.
Is that it?
Well, I'm still looking for more animals.
Okay. I think that was probably enough to share for right now.
I'll just look for more.
Can you go see if you can try to start your video in your room? That was really long. That was a long segment. The rest of Fern Gully.
Fern Gully?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I have another movie I wanted to watch.
Okay. She's very chatty today. Anyway, third time's a charm. Shawl. Either this one or this one. Just in case I get interrupted again. They're both Malabrigo sock.
I also wanted to
This one is called
Snow White.
Candombe. And this one is Arcante.
I also wanted to watch Snow White.
Okay, I'll put Snow White on for you.
Can
Alright,
you
I'll be right back.
just teach me how to put it on?
Okay, I'm back. So, Megwin is now watching Snow White, which is good. On VHS. Yes, we have a VHS player, if I haven't mentioned it before. So yeah, a shawl. But I don't know what I want to do. Both of those are kind of, not a ton of different colors, but there's some variation in there. This one's kind of orangey, purpley, warm tones. And then this one is really deep forest green, navy blue, some brown. Very different yarns, but both really pretty. So, yeah. give me ideas if you have any. They're both about 440 yards, obviously fingering weight. And I prefer shaped shawls. I'm not really a huge fan of rectangular kind of stole style shawls. Because I can't figure out any good way to wear them on my body other than as a scarf. And I already have one of those. So, yeah, that's what I'd like to cast on next after I finish Megwin's sweater. And I'll probably start her next sweater as well. So that's kind of it for my knitting. Acquisitions wise, I did buy some yarn, but I don't have any of it. So I will share it maybe next time or the time after, depending on how long it takes to get here. I caught an update of Vine yarns. Yay! So I'm super excited because she had a couple of her bases that she doesn't normally dye, but I think she had some kind of shipping issue with some of her sparkle base, the blitzed base, and what was the other one? I don't remember. It wasn't Strassa. It was Volga, her Volga base. So she pulled out some kind of deep stash of silky and footsie base. And I love BFL yarn so much. It is so fun to knit with. And my pairs of socks that I like the best are BFL. So I got 2 skeins of BFL of her footsie base and I'm so excited. So one is the fairy hair and one is octopus garden, which I really like. I was going to bring up, crap, and I forgot it. The little bunny nugget that Molly shared on her podcast, she sent to me. And I forgot to share it last podcast. And it is made with octopus garden. And it's so cute. So I was looking at that and then I was like, oh, I need some of this color. And then Kristen said she was going to have some in her update. So I happened to be off work on Friday, sort of. I had a couple of conference calls, so I was sort of off work and sort of not off work. But anyway, I was able to sit and wait for her update. So I caught 2 skeins of yarn and I'm very happy. So I can't wait to get those. That'll be exciting. And then I also ordered some Patton's Croy sock yarn. 2 skeins to send to a friend and then 2 skeins for me. I think they're the sporty stripes for me. I hadn't seen that colorway in the stores, so I'm excited about that as well. It looks really cute, kind of springy, bright colors. So kind of like my meadow stripes, but different. I think they were more kind of melony colors and stuff. So those will be good as well. So when those come in, I will share them with you. But like I said, I don't have them now. So completely un-knitting related items. I apologize if you hear Plonk barking in the background. He is either barking to get in the bed with Cordova, which he does all the time. They have this weird little ritual where he can't just go straight into the bed. She will bite him and attack him. He has to bark at her. She opens one eye, kind of growls. He turns around so his butt is facing towards her. And he barks again. And she growls a little more. And he inches a little closer. And she growls. And he inches a little closer. And then he manages to get the edge of his butt on the edge of the bed. And he kind of sits down. And then if she doesn't attack him, he starts to slowly ooze onto the bed. And eventually, they're totally cuddling and spooning. So I don't know why they need to go through this ritual. I'm sure it's a dog thing. She is the alpha. He is not. So I'm sure it's a dominance thing and he has to play the game. But it's funny. So he's either doing that or he's barking because he knows I'm upstairs and he wants to be with me. Yeah. But I didn't want to have him up here right now because I'm probably not going to be up here super long and it's kind of hot for him up here. With his heart condition, he's a lot more sensitive to temperature. So I try not to get him in situations where he's going to get overheated. So that's my one news. My other news is I got this. What? So I got a smartphone. It's a Samsung Galaxy S6. I didn't really want a smartphone. I don't really have a need for one. But since I have one, I'll use it, I'm sure. Basically, the story behind it is that we had a really, really old plan with like 700 shared minutes and then unlimited text. And with all of the stuff with the hospital, and then I worked from home the week after Megwin got out of the hospital, we went over our plan minutes. And I basically had the choice of upgrading my plan or getting a different plan. So when I went to look, they don't even offer my plan anymore. They don't offer plans with a bank of minutes anymore. They have data, and then they have unlimited talk and text. So I was like, well, we'll use the unlimited talk and text because my husband and I talk to each other quite a bit. We also text each other quite a lot. We enjoy having conversations with each other. So that was already unlimited anyway, but we do have a lot of family in California still, and we like to keep in touch with them, and the time difference makes that sort of difficult. And then if my husband is at home, he often will try to get a hold of like his grandparents during the day, because they go to bed earlier and get up earlier. So it makes more sense to try and reach out to them at different times of day than we would for like his mom and aunts and uncles and stuff like that. So anyway, long story short, it's fine. So I had to get a smartphone. I actually gave my husband my old phone, and then his had a cracked screen. So he got rid of that one. So he pseudo got an upgrade too, which he was pleased about. He's not really interested in a smartphone at all. He just wants to be able to call people and text. But the upside to having a smartphone is that I can do Instagram now. Yay! So I am Ine on Instagram. Yay that it wasn't taken. I'm very excited about that. I've only posted like 3 things. Joshua got a hold of one of my skeins of yarn, and it was a huge tangly mess. I actually took a picture of it after I had most of the way untangled it, but it was like this big. It was crazy. It was a skein of chroma fingering weight yarn. And then today I've been working all day cleaning the house, basically just like doing parts. So I was really happy when I got like one whole room done, which the bathroom is sort of cheating because it's never that messy, but there's usually like toys all over the place randomly in our bathroom, and children have this weird habit of just like taking their clothes and throwing them wherever they are, and yeah, I don't know. There's hampers everywhere. I don't know. So there were a lot of clothes, and yeah, I completely did the bathroom. I even mopped. I don't get to mop very often. It doesn't get that far. If everything's just off the floor, that's a huge accomplishment in our house. So yeah, I mopped, I scrubbed. So yeah, I won't usually be posting pictures of my bathroom, I promise. But I was very happy that I got it clean. So yeah, maybe I'll do the kitchen next, and when that's done, I'll post a picture of that too, because some people have been asking about a tour of the house. The house is usually very messy. It's not super, like, dirty. It's just really cluttered. So we have 2 kids. They have a lot of toys. We don't have a huge place. Now, I know compared to, like, people in like Europe, for example, we have a luxurious amount of space. But yeah, I mean, it's just cluttered. And we're working on that. We're working on kind of purging stuff. And so yeah, as I get rooms clean, I will post pictures and you guys can see different parts of my house than this little yellow wall with the knee attic that you usually see, or the tiny nook that you've seen. I think I've been in my dining room maybe once. It just didn't work very well because Joshua was mad that he couldn't get into the dining room, and now that he can walk, he gets even more angry if he can't get everywhere in the world. So yeah. And then I posted a little picture of my knitting earlier, but I'm starting to get the hang of like following people. I followed a couple people. I've tried to post some comments, so have pity on me. If you have any tips for what to do with Instagram or how to use it or what's the best way to look at people's stuff and follow people. I don't know what hashtags are all about. Like, talk to me like I'm 5 and that I've never used the internet before. I've used the internet obviously, but this is a whole new piece of the internet I have not touched at all. So anything with my phone, people at work were laughing at me because I was asking them how to use apps. We use Microsoft Link at work for our communicator for everybody. So I wanted to be able to check my work calendar, and often I'll have just straight meetings all day long. So I'm kind of running from meeting to meeting, and then somebody might change a conference room or cancel a meeting, and it's very irritating if you go to the meeting room and there's no one there, and you sit there and you wait and nobody shows up, or you run all the way back to your desk, which I'm like at one complete end of the building from where anybody else I meet with is, and then you figure out, oh crap, it's not canceled, it's rescheduled, and it's on the other campus, so now I have to run. I'm a fast walker, so the campuses, they go from one to the other. It's typically a 15-minute walk. I can do it in 5 in heels because I usually wear heels. People are impressed with how quickly I can walk, but it's irritating, you know. I don't have a ton of time at work, and if a meeting gets canceled, that time that's been freed up is very precious because I might be able to catch up on email or bang out a report or get to meet with one of the people on my team. So yeah, this is valuable for me, but the guy who I work with who was showing me how to use the app, he was laughing because he's like, okay, so now you go in there, and he showed me a whole bunch of stuff on my phone, which thank you so much, Josh. I appreciate it. I don't think he watches, but he said he and his wife did watch my podcast one time. So yeah, if you are watching, Josh, thank you for all your help with my smartphone. I appreciate it. I, the Luddite, will learn at some point or another. So that's one thing that's been happening with me. And then the other thing is that we had our basement get flooded. Yay! So last week, I think it was last Sunday, a huge rainstorm. I mean, ridiculous rainstorm came through. We were sitting there and it just looked like somebody was literally pouring a bucket of water on our house. I think we got 2 inches of rain in like 15 minutes. It was so crazy how fast it came down. And we looked out at our street and I was like, there's a tree limb floating down our street, to my husband. And I said, you should probably go look in the basement just to see if it's wet. Because when we first moved into the house, it had the old box style gutters on it. So ones that are made of wood and they have like a tin liner in them, which had completely corroded at that point. They were the original gutters from 1900. So we spent quite a bit of money redoing parts of the roof, getting all new gutters and downspouts put on, and we hadn't had really any water in the basement to speak of since then. Now, our basement's a hand-dug basement. It is not finished at all. The walls are like huge stones on most of it. There's one piece that's that's actual like concrete cement blocks. And they think that that was probably done in the 1920s to 30s to shore up one of the walls. It's actually this wall behind me down there. And my husband went down there and he was like, oh my God, there's water everywhere. So I think we got about a ½ inch of water in the basement, but, and he's trying to drag all the boxes away from it and keep everything as dry as he could, put things up on stuff. We have some like carpet remnants down there that we're going to have to just pull out and completely throw away. Now, luckily, most of the boxes that were on that side of the basement are stuff that we've had in boxes since we moved to Ohio about 8 years ago. So chances are we probably don't need anything in them, because if we haven't touched it in 8 years, we probably aren't going to. That's my theory. So we're going to use it as an opportunity to purge. And then going forward, we're going to get some shelving for down there and some larger like Rubbermaid tubs to store things in, so that way if there is ever water again, it won't hurt any of our stuff. So after that, I stayed home the next day, and my husband took down all of the downspouts, completely like disassembled them, like chunked out everything that was in there, because they just get a lot of like detritus, and we have a slate roof, so like small pieces of slate will shear off and get in there, and then that's just enough to catch a twig, and then that catches some leaves, and then, you know, it just snowballs. So we got those all cleaned out, and since then we've had a couple of storms, nothing like that one, and we have not had any water in the basement. Now the nice thing about a hand dug basement is that it doesn't trap the water, so when it gets in, it can just as easily go back out. So it very quickly went back out again. Most of our neighbors that we've talked to got water in their basements as well, and it didn't recede. So they have to actually like get somebody to come in and clean out their basements, or they have to use their sump pump if they have a sump pump. And our neighbors across the street actually said they got water like almost up to their electrical box, which is usually about 2 to 3 feet off of the floor. So they got completely flooded out. So we were very lucky that we only got like a ½ inch of water, which was not anywhere near any electrical components or anything like that. It didn't get into the part of the basement that had our washer dryer. It's purely the side where we have like a workbench where we do our potting and growing like our seedlings before we put them out in our garden. So we have kind of like a little stand where we can raise and lower some fluorescent lights, so we can start our seeds in there. And then, like I said, we were storing some boxes, and that's the side that the geothermal unit is on, but I think it's fine. Like the electrical components are very high up on it. So we were lucky, and everything's fine there. But we still have some cleanup to do down there. It's going to be a job. So I have a 4-day weekend this weekend, and we are going to go and meet up with one of my best friends tomorrow, and her daughter to see the Minions movie and have lunch. So I'm excited about that. She's Doc Legs on Ravelry, but she's almost ever on there. But we did meet on Ravelry, and she came and helped take care of baby Josh while Megan was in the hospital. She stayed out in the lobby of the ICU overnight with Joshua, and was just so supportive and wonderful. So I appreciate the heck out of her, and yeah, I always like spending time with her. And then my other really close friend who moved to Michigan is actually going to be back in town Monday and Tuesday. So Monday she was going to have a lunch at work, but I don't think I'm going to be able to make it because Megan has a follow-up appointment for ophthalmology. so Tuesday we're going to try to have coffee with each other. And I was like, book it on our calendars because we're not going to miss it this time. Because sometimes, you know, we want to get together and then we both get really busy at work because she works remotely and only comes down to the office like maybe once a month or once every other month. So I'm glad that we've got some time set aside to hang out and catch up because I haven't seen her since the whole thing with Megwin happened. And I mean, we were communicating by text, but yeah, it'll be nice to catch up and see what's been going on with her. So I think that's it. I feel like I've been very chatty this week. I don't know what's wrong with me. So we're going to go and get some groceries, probably get, I at least need coffee creamer because I'm out. And that's ridiculous. I love coffee. So yeah, I hope that everybody has a great week. Please come and join the group. Come and friend me if you would like. I love seeing what people are doing, and I look at the friends section of Ravelry quite a lot. I get a lot of inspiration from everybody and seeing what they're working on, and adding stuff to my queue that people are knitting, or I go and, you know, favorite it or leave comments. So I love that. And yeah, help me with Instagram. You can follow me. Is that what we say? Follow me on Instagram. And I will follow you and learn more about this whole thing. So until next week, everybody have happy knitting and enjoy doing the things that you love. All right, bye-bye.